Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building another family home, and today it's going to be a pretty large family house for a family of 4. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to call this house actually. Probably just large home for family of 4 because I am so creative when it comes to naming my builds, but oh well, it gets the point across, I guess. But either way, here you can see I'm just starting off with the structure of the house. Obviously, I'm building a home as I always do, but I really like this house. I think it turned out to be so pretty. It's actually not what I had expected it to be. I wanted to build, I mean, looks wise I think it kind of is what I expected, but I wanted it to have more bedrooms, so I wanted it to be for like a larger family, but it just didn't work out that way. So it's only a 3-bedroom home. Maybe I'm just bad at floor planning and you guys could come up with a different floor plan that gave you more bedrooms. I mean, there is an office that technically could be turned into another bedroom, but my plan was to actually have this be a 100 baby suburban house because I haven't built one of those before. I think I've only actually done that 100 baby house for a mermaid family, which was so much fun, but that was a really long time ago. I built that about the time that Island Living came out, and I've always wanted to do just like a cozy home for like a big family, and if I'm going to do that, I might as well do it for the 100 baby challenge and make like a whole room for kids to like level up their skills and all that kind of stuff. So that was my original plan, so I thought this house was bigger than it actually is. So if you guys would like to see that, definitely let me know because it's been something on my mind for a while and I would like to build it for you guys. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So as soon as I find another inspiration to build a house kind of like this, I guess maybe on a bigger lot. Is this a 30 by 20? Maybe I should have built it on like a 30 by 40 and then maybe I would have made the house bigger. I don't know. I think this house is a good size though. I like the size of it. But either way, I'm so happy with the way it turned out, even though it wasn't exactly my original plan. And as you can see, the structure of the house actually came together really quickly, and I think it's a pretty interesting shape. It has a couple of different porches and balconies and just different like shaped rooms. I mean, not different shapes, they're basically all squares, but you know, it's not all like, it's not super boxy. It's kind of interesting. So I was really happy with the way it turned out, and I am doing another garage. I've been really enjoying building houses with garages lately, and so I cluttered it up with a bunch of different activities, and I actually used the new candle making bench. I was gonna call it a machine but it's not a machine, but that candle making station, that's probably more appropriate. I'm not exactly sure, but either way, it's the item that came with the Eco Lifestyle pack. I haven't got a chance to use it in a build yet, I don't think. I just really haven't had the space for it, or it hasn't suited the style, you know, whatever the reason has been, I haven't used it yet. So I finally used it in the garage, and you know, of course I just used other kind of garage equipment like a bicycle, a punching bag. I tend to always put punching bags in my garages because I feel like it's a pretty realistic place to put your workout equipment. Maybe I should actually put a treadmill once or sometime in one of the garages. I always do a punching bag, but they don't take up that much space, so they're really easy to fit in. And then yeah, other than that, there's a few random things, but here you can see I'm going in to work on the floor plan. I had started to do the landscaping and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't even looked or thought about the interior, so I needed to make sure I could make a floor plan work before I continued with the floor plan, because you guys know I've made that mistake way too many times, and it is always so frustrating because it's so hard to make changes to your exterior once you've finished the landscaping. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's annoying and I don't want to have to do it. But yeah, this house ends up having a pretty, I mean, it's a pretty good size. Like I said, it is a 3-bedroom house and I wanted it to be more. I wanted it to have more bedrooms, but it still has like a lot of different elements to it. I mean, there's a really large kitchen and dining room, there's a living room, you know, all of the basics. There is a laundry room, a bathroom downstairs, and there's also an office space downstairs. So like I mentioned, you could turn that into a bedroom if you really wanted to. And then upstairs there's the 3 bedrooms. There's also 2 bathrooms, so the parents do have an ensuite, and then there's a hallway bathroom for the kids' rooms. And for the family, I imagined 2 parents. I'm not really sure what they do for a career. One of them is definitely into candle making because I put that in the garage, so they have that as a hobby. Maybe both of them are into it. Oh, children can actually use it too, can't they? Or am I remembering that incorrectly? I'm not exactly sure. I haven't played with the pack, so I don't know. Let me know in the comments. But so yeah, one of them I think is into candle making, and maybe other arts and crafts too. That could be pretty fun. And I think one of them is probably also into gardening, because I put quite a bit of gardening supplies here on the left side of the house, if we're looking at the house from the back. For the kids, I actually had a lot of fun thinking of their personality, and I was really trying to think of personalities that I haven't done before or recently, or just trying to be, you know, a little bit more creative, because sometimes I feel like I tend to gravitate towards the same personalities or the same color schemes, or not that the color schemes are really that original, because I mean, there's only so many colors, but I mean, yeah, the color schemes aren't really that original. I did a blue room and a pink room. Well, the pink room is actually more purple, so that's a bit different, but I've definitely done purple rooms before. But anyways, so for the kids, I was thinking there was a child and then a teenager, and the teenager wants to be like a pop star. They're really into pop music and like everything girly and colorful, and I think their room really like represents that style that I wanted to go for. And I also made some bunk beds in the teen room, which I thought was really fun, because I've made bunk beds before, but I tend to always do them in children's rooms, and I don't think I've ever done one in a teenager's room, or one that wasn't in like a green or blue color scheme. So I think it's the only like super like pinky purple one I've done. And so I think it's super cute, and the bunk bed is totally functional, not the top bunk. Unfortunately, we still don't actually have bunk beds in The Sims, so I have to use Move Objects and make my own, and they're not perfect, but I think they're still really cute, and it's kind of fun just to do something different every once in a while. But the bottom bunk totally works. I had my Sim sleep there, and it caused no problems, and yeah, I'm so happy that that actually works, because there was a period of time where that didn't work. It used to work, and then they did an update, and it quit working, but then they updated it again, and now it works again. So hopefully nothing ever changes that. I mean, unless we actually get real bunk beds, and then we don't have to worry about it. Hopefully we'll get them eventually. But yeah, that's it for the teenager's room. You'll see that, of course, when we go on to the interior. And then for the child's room, I really tried to think of something like super different than what I've done for kids in the past. And we have this bridge in the show Hidden Objects. It's one of the like school crafts your children's Sims can do. And I was thinking maybe it'd be really cool if this kid was into like engineering and like construction. I've done like the children's rooms where they're into science or things along those lines, but I haven't done anything that was so specific to like construction and engineering. And I thought they were really into cars, and I put a train set on the floor, and they're just really into everything mechanical basically. And so they'll probably end up going to university and becoming an engineer or something, and maybe we'll get cars someday and they'll be like a car enthusiast or something. That was my plan anyways. And I think it's a super adorable bedroom, and like I said, it's very blue. It's probably too blue, actually. I may have went a bit overboard, but sometimes when I want things to be matchy, I go like overly matchy. But anyways, as you can see, I did finish the exterior. I really love the gardening area with those stepping stones. I used the new planter boxes that came from the Eco Lifestyle pack, and then also that little like bug house, bug hotel, whatever that thing is called. The thing that I was hoping was chickens, but wasn't. When I saw it in the trailer, I was like, what is that thing? I was like, what are they cuddling? I thought it looked like a bug, but I'm like, there's no way they would cuddle a bug, but they do. And so I put that out there, and then also a beehive box so you can collect honey, and they can of course pollinate your plants and that kind of stuff. And then I really wanted to fit in a swimming pool, and you probably saw me try to do it for a moment, but I didn't have the space for it. So I decided just to include a swing set and then an outdoor dining area with a barbecuer, and then I think that's it. There's of course like balconies with seating areas and a few different things on there. But here you can see I'm decorating the living room. It's the first room that I sorted out. I tried to use a combination of this more somewhat modern furniture that came with Eco Lifestyle and mix it with some traditional items, and tried to just make something that felt really cozy and homey and not like super fancy or put together. I mean, I don't think it's like not put together. I think the colors still work together, but I didn't want to do something that looked like overly matchy with the house. You know, like houses in real life don't tend to have like the perfect matching furniture, or I don't know, this is not always perfect. And I still tried to make it look nice, of course, and I still wanted to like it, but I just wanted something that felt a little bit more homey and cozy. But here you can see I'm decorating the laundry room. It's pretty simple. There's a litter box in there so you can have a cat. I do put a couple of food bowls right by the back door, so you could have a dog and a cat if you would like to. I tend to always put 2 food bowls if I have the space for it, because I feel like your pets need water. It drives me crazy that they don't need water. They'll lick up puddles and drink that way, but they don't actually need it to survive, and it drives me crazy. It's probably not that big of a deal, but for whatever reason, it bothers me. But that's it for the downstairs bathroom too. It's just a simple half bath. And then over here is going to be the entryway to the house. I put a large like china cabinet in here just to kind of fill in the space and also make it feel like homey. And it's, you know, it's not like in the most perfect place and it's kind of crowded, but I think it looks cool, and I like cluttered it up with some books and a few different things. And then here in the hallway I have a little bench so you could sit there and like put on your shoes or whatever, and then there's a painting above it. And then over here in this huge long room, at first I wasn't sure if I was going to like this part of the house because I thought it was going to be kind of awkward. Anytime I have to decorate like long spaces, I feel like they tend to be a bit weird. But on this side, I'm obviously doing the kitchen, and I think the kitchen actually turned out really nice. I do clutter it up quite a bit with different decorations on the counters, but everything's functional. There is enough space for your Sims to use appliances and sit and eat. There's this little bar area, and then there's a few different interactive objects like the teapot and the popcorn machine. Those items can be kind of annoying, like popcorn and ice cream machines, because your Sims will tend to want them excessively. At least that's what I remember it being like when I used to actually play the game a little bit more. So let me know if that's still a thing. But anyways, here you can see I'm just adding some more clutter around. This is basically how the kitchen area looks. I do switch up the bar stools here right now, and then later I do find a rug to put here in the center of the kitchen. I could not find one for the life of me. I think I end up going with like a basic brown rug that has some like texture on it. It's from Base Game. I use it actually quite a bit. Usually I try to use it on the exteriors of builds, but yeah, it totally worked here. But anyways, over here is going to be the dining area, and as you can see, there is kind of an awkward, I mean, it's not super awkward. It's not as much space as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be kind of empty here in the center, but I think I filled it in nicely and it's not too cluttered. And yeah, I really like the dining area. I think that rug pairs nicely with the table and with some of like the dark brown furniture, like with the china cabinet and stuff. I thought it actually worked really nicely. And then over here is going to be the office space. So in here there's a computer and like a seating area. I really probably should have added like another skill building item, but I just imagined you would just purely use this as an office space. Maybe one of the parents works from home, so this is kind of their space to get away and actually focus on their work, or maybe they study something, maybe they're in university later in life. That's totally a possibility. So put that in there. Here you can see I do have the candle making machine. It's not a machine, but that's like the first word that pops to my head. The candle making station. So I moved it over to the garage because once I placed it in here, I was like, yeah, it doesn't really make sense to have it in here. So I just placed a couple of chairs and then another painting, and that's it for the office space. So nice and simple, like I said, but I do think it's pretty appropriate for like a more like adult office, like to not be overly cluttered. But I do think a chess table would have been nice. Actually, I ended up getting a chess table on the front porch, so it's totally not necessary. I think it's fine. But in here in the garage, like I've mentioned several times, there's this candle making station. I really wanted to include this workbench too, but I couldn't find a great place to put it. I mean, it does work okay over here, but once I find that shelving unit that we got from Strangerville that has like all of the perfect garage related items on it, I end up actually placing it over here along this wall and then getting rid of the workbench and moving the candle making station over there. But I still think it totally, like, I don't know, it totally works and it looks really nice and it feels like a garage. I have like tires in here, a bicycle, and then like camping supplies that we have from Outdoor Retreat. I put them around, and then I left the center open, so you could definitely put like another car in there if you prefer, or I don't know, maybe you could take like school projects and put them in there and your kids will have lots of space to build them. Or maybe you want to make like a garage band. That's definitely something I have thought about doing in a build. So let me know if you'd like to see another house with a garage, and then maybe I make like a garage band for like the teenager or something. I think that'd be pretty cool. But here you can see I'm decorating the hallway that leads to the back balcony and the bedrooms and the bathroom. I think it looks pretty nice and simple. But over here is going to be the parents' room. The parents' room, I of course wanted it to look very similar to the rest of the house, so I just decided to decorate it right off the bat while I was still thinking of the personalities for the kids, because I was really trying to think about the personalities for the kids. Like I said, I wanted to do something that was a bit different, so I took my time thinking about them as I decorated the parents' room. So the parents' room is pretty simple, but I think it suits the theme of the rest of the house. It doesn't look overly cluttered, but it has like the right colors and stuff, so I think it matches. And I love this bed that came from Eco Lifestyle. I can't stop using it. Anytime I do a master bedroom, I just want to use it, and I'm trying not to because I don't want to use the same items in like every single build and then have all my builds look the same. But right now it's still new and I can't help myself. But here's the parents' ensuite. Their ensuite is not very big, so it's just a stand-up shower, a sink, toilet, a few decorations, nothing too crazy because yeah, it's a very tiny bathroom, but it totally works. And they also have a walk-in closet, which I was really happy to be able to include. Oh, here I'm going back into the kitchen, finding a rug. So that was the rug that I used. It's not that exciting, but over here is going to be the bathroom for the kids to share. Again, it's not overly cluttered. It's not a very big bathroom either, but it totally gets the job done. They have a stand-up shower, so if you do have a dog, or a stand-up shower and bathtub combo. So if you do have like a dog or you decide to have a toddler in this build, you could definitely have them take a bath or something like that. But here I'm moving on to the teenager's room. So like I mentioned, it's very pink, it's very purple, and these are the bunk beds that I was talking about, so it definitely works. The bottom one does function, the top one does not because your Sims can't climb up to it. At one point they could jump up to something that was raised up if you like configured the beds to where they weren't like perfectly underneath of each other. I think if they were more like adjacent, is that the right word? I'm blanking on the right word to use for that, but I've seen people do it before in the past and there was a lot of different options. But I'm really hoping that we get bunk beds, but I'm happy that the bottom bunk still works. And since the top one doesn't, I decided to clutter it up with like some stuffed animals. I've done that before. I did that recently in an apartment. I think it looks so cute, and yeah, it just feels pretty realistic to me because I feel like all of my friends that had bunk beds, because I never had bunk beds, their top bunk, unless they shared it with a sibling, then of course it wasn't full of stuffed animals, but if they didn't share the top bunk with a sibling, then it was always full of like stuffed animals. So yeah, that's what I decided to do. But here you can see I'm cluttering up the dresser with different books and different items, and of course you can see there's like music related items around, so they do have a microphone, and I think that's actually it. So I really think they want to be a singer, so I didn't include like a guitar. I probably should have included a radio though. I think that would have made sense, but maybe they just have like headphones that they listen to all the time, and then like a tablet or maybe a laptop or something in their inventory, so they get all of their music through those items. Maybe that's a possibility. But here I'm moving on to the kids' room. So the first thing that I wanted to include was this shelf above the bed because I knew we had a couple with some cars on it. And then I put like an airplane on the side table, and then I do have a couple of cars on the floor right now. They're just like the statue cars, and I sized them down to look more like toys. But later on I found the train set, and I was like, oh, that would be really cute to have a train set on the floor. So I ended up switching those out for the train instead, and I thought that was really adorable. And then they have a bookcase over here, and then other than that, I do get a dresser in here, and I do clutter it up with like a lot of different decorations, including that bridge item. There I just placed it. It's so cute, and I thought it was like perfect for a kid that was into construction and like cars and engineering and all that kind of stuff. And they also have a picture of a car above it too, so I thought that was pretty cool. But other than that though, I don't get a computer desk or anything in here. I really wanted to fit one in both of the rooms, but I decided there was other things that I wanted to include instead. And yeah, they can just have laptops, or they can sit at the kitchen table and do their homework. They don't always need a desk, but I do like to include them. But this room really wasn't very big to include too many things, but I do get a toy box in here so they can store their toys and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, anyways, this is basically it for the whole build though. I'm of course just finishing up the final decorations in this kids room, and then I make the final few touches to the build, and then we're already on to the screenshots. I hope you guys have liked this one, and I hope you guys do enjoy the screenshots. So thank you so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!
At this time of the year, I can't stop asking why I'm struggling to stay. It's a mystery why I'm here. I guess I'm just too tired of fighting what you say. As we're growing older, darling, I begin to understand like this never end. We have to try and keep the mood up. Stay. I know that sometimes we pretend to love each other like we used to, but it's all good in the end. 'Cause as we're growing older, darling, love is growing stronger, 'cause it's me that I'm fighting.